Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How?
Thank you. When is your interview?
Sir, April 11th.
April 11. Okay. With respect to literature, um, what is the relationship, or what should be the relationship between society and literature?
Sir, society and literature have a relationship which can be positive or negative. In case of positive relationship, the literary works will uh, have a positive effect like the social development or the progress that a society can have. For example, the works of Tagadi Shivashankara or like the writers of realism had tried to address the issues in society like the labor issues, women issues, etc., which has came up with a positive effect in society. In case of negative effects also, the violence in the books, such things can also have a negative impact on the society.
Can you give any example of such thing that has taken place, either in the past or in the present, where a book has resulted in violence in the society?
Sir, I'm not able to come up with a specific example, but I have read how the books about revolution has inspired many revolutionaries, etc. But I'm not able to recollect an example right now.
Mm-hmm. Have heard Satanic Verses. Have you read the book?
Sir, I have heard about the book written by Salman Rushdie, but I haven't read the book.
Okay, so why was it controversial?
Sir, the book was alleged to be of blasphemous nature, where some of the countries, including the countries like Iran, has banned the book and had a uh, proclamation to act against the writer of the book. In India, also the book was banned during that time itself.
So what about now? Like, is it still banned, or can one buy and read the book in India?
Sir, recently, a few months back, as per the orders of one of the high courts or Supreme Court, I am not able to recollect right now, but the ban on the book was revoked, and I believe we'll be able to buy and read the book now.
Would you like to buy and read that book?
Sorry, sir.
Would you like to buy and read that book?
Sir, I would like to buy and read the book to know about what is the content in the book, to explore more regarding that.
Okay. So, with respect to the contemporary issues, right? Uh, what are the contemporary issues within Kerala, and how are they portrayed, or reviewed or criticized, thrown light in literature, in Malayalam literature?
Sir, one of the contemporary issues is the women issues. In case of women, Kerala have a paradox where the high literacy but low labor force participation, patriarchy existing, etc. Some of the writers like the Sarah Joseph addresses the women issues through her books. And the other books or the other issues in contemporary issues in Kerala could be related to the vulnerable population and the effects or the issues faced by vulnerable population. For example, the tribal population in Kerala, where the works like Maveli Mandam, which is written in the tribal dialect itself, portrays the issues faced by them. Uh, yes, sir, that's all I can recollect right now.
So, in your observation, like from your place, or from places that you have visited, wherever you studied. So, based on that experience, can you talk about the current status of women in Kerala? What are the other smaller issues that they usually go through, and how they are not highlighted or reflected, whether it is in media or literature?
Sir, I come from Kollam, which is notorious in Kerala for the dowry issues that is happening. All the recent women cases like the suicide cases, murder cases regarding dowry that come from Kollam. Uh, and the other issue that women in Kerala faces regarding the housewifism, where due to the higher remittance that was available due to the migration of male population to the West Asia like countries, it has resulted in women not participating in the economy well and being housewives to take care of the house, which is more prominent in the northern parts of Kerala. Other than that, due to the matrilineal system that got destructed or not prominently followed in Kerala right now, it has resulted in the less power available to women compared to earlier times.
So why do you think this near 100% literacy or good education hasn't translated into uh, women empowerment and also in general better human development?
Sir, one of the reasons why the 100% literacy came was the effect of socio-religious movements that happened in the last century. The socio-religious movements focused on education more, but hasn't focused much on the women emancipation. Even though women education were focused, the focus was to make them uh, read more, but to be better housewives or to have a good family life rather than participating in economy or to be empowered per se. So even after having literacy, the patriarchy or the patriarchal mindset still exists without any changes. Even though certain changes has come, but it hasn't fully gone yet. So that could be the reason, despite having 100% literacy, the women issues persist.
So what about the strength of tradition, culture, customs, right? So even they also play a role, even despite education and economic empowerment. Somehow they hold us to the primitive or past practices. So how do you free from such practices? So what kind of approach is required more than education? So what else is required?
Uh, yes, that the effect of culture is also there regarding the women issues that exist in Kerala. I believe that to address the same, specific approach to the specific problems that are there should be there. In case of dowry issues that is there in Kerala, the dowry is normalized in southern parts of Kerala. It is now more considered as an offense. So the policy or the dowry prohibition like acts should be properly implemented. Along with that, a behavioral change in case of society should be there so that the society itself will condemn the dowry issues that are there. And also, economic independence is one of the pillars for women empowerment. For that, the women in Kerala should be skilled more with the help of self-help groups, including the Kudumbasri, have a successful initiative in the same avenue. So through economic independence also, the women participation in the society should be better addressed.
Okay. So which female mythological character is your favorite character or figure?
Sir, my favorite female character in mythology is Kundi because of the resilience she has shown in midst of the adversities. She has faced a series of adversities from being transferred as an adopted daughter to an early widowhood to raising 5 children by her own through a great parenthood, etc. She has gone through a series of challenges, but she chose to rise above all those challenges to be resilient, to address everything well. So Kundi is my favorite character.
Okay. But if you have to critically look at her character and her status, so as a student of literature, how would you look at her?
Sorry, sir, may I have the
Yeah, I
question
mean, if you
repeated?
have to write a the critique of the character of Kundi, right? Looking at critical from the both the dimension. On one dimension, you were saying that she was resilient and she raised the children despite of so much of negative things that happened, right? So when it comes to the context, as status, so with respect to all the events that happened around us, right? How people treated us,
Yes,
like
sir.
as a student of literature, like, so if I have to ask about criticizing the characters.
Sir, some of the criticism that faced by Kundi is regarding one, the treatment of Karna. Karna was orphaned at newborn age itself. And second criticism is
If
regarding
I have to narrow it
when,
down, let us say feminist from the lens of feminist criticism.
uh, sir, from the feminist perspective, it could be the treatment of Draupadi, where Draupadi was shared between the five brothers, which is considered, which is condemned by the feminist critics. And the third issue could be the from a humanist perspective, where the treatment of women and her five children at the Varanavada, when Kundi and her children were getting killed in the Arakillam. The tribal woman that came was sacrificed for escaping as a method of self-defense.
Mhm. But still, Kunti was not a warrior, right? I mean, she was not somebody who fought a war. Similar to some other characters, maybe in mythology or later, like in history, also we see warrior kind of characters. So do we have any female warrior kind of character in Mahabharata or in Ramayana?
Sorry, sir, I am unable to recollect any character right now.
Okay. So coming to present literature, those who are writing, uh, you know, Indians writing in English, right? So Arundhati Roy made a big name by winning the Booker Prize for God of Small Things. So number one question, what was the theme of this book, right? So what issues were highlighted in God of Small Things? Secondly, who are the prominent authors currently, right, in India writing in English, and so what is their focus? What kind of themes that they are trying to, themes and issues that they are trying to write upon?
Sir, regarding the Arundhati Roy's book, The God of Small Things, the prominent theme in the book is the caste inequalities that is there. The female protagonist of the character falls in love with a lower caste man, which is condemned by the society and the issues that they face. Along with that, since the novel is set in the Aymanam village in Kottayam, it beautifully explores the village beauty, the nostalgia, etc. That is there. And regarding the prominent writers and themes in English literature right now, the Indian English literature is exploring the contemporary themes right now. For example, new genres like the climate fiction is coming up. Uh, the writers like Amit Sengupta are writing, like there was a novel written about the climate refugees in one of the islands of West Bengal, which is called a climate fiction. Second is another genres like the hope punk, where the protagonists of the novel are seeing the life with a new hope, exploring the mental health avenues that are there. And also the uh, theme that has been there, like the colonial experiences, etc., are properly uh, portrayed in the novel or writings in Indian English literature.
Okay. uh, like, do you read poetry also, or do you just write poems?
Sir, I read poetry also, but more oriented towards Malayalam poems.
Okay. So who is the famous Malayali poet in recent times?
Sir, one could be the Rafiq Ahmad that writes about the contemporary themes, the climate issues, etc. in Kerala. Second could be the Ayyappa Panikar, also writing about the modern issues that are there. Uh,
What
third could
about
be,
female authors? Female author, women authors currently writing in Malayalam. Can you name any three
sir,
authors?
Sorry, sir, I am unable to. Yes, sir, the Hindu Menon is one of the writers that writes more about the women issues that are there. Other than that, sorry, sir, I am unable to recollect names right now.
Okay. What about like people like Dostoevsky and Leo Tolstoy and all? Have you read their works? Any of their books?
Sir, I have read both of them are Russian authors. I have read. Sorry, sir, I haven't read any of their books, but I have read a book about Dostoevsky, which is Oru Sankirtanam Bole, written by Perimbadam Sridharan. It is about the life of Dostoevsky and the relation he has between Dostoevsky and Anna.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is the relationship between education and literature?
Sir, literature and education have a positive relationship. The literature tries to enhance the uh, literacy that is there. For example, in the earlier times in Kerala, some of the literatures, like the small magazines that publish small stories of authors like Muttattu Varki, has enhanced the curiosity of people to read more, and as a result, they have tried to be literate. So I believe that both have a positive connotation.
Mm-hmm. Apart from that, in our education system or education scheme, there is not much prominence given to literature, right? So those who pursue humanities, maybe later they can choose, but either in school curriculum or in the very system of schooling, so the literature is not given important. Do you think literature should have a prominent place in school education?
Yes, sir. I do think that literature should have a, prominent role because of the fact that literature explores multiple perspectives, multiple cultures, and it familiarizes with the students regarding outer world that is full of opportunities, and acceptance of other cultures is also there. And also, the literature explores human stories, emotions, etc., which will make the students more empathetic and compassionate towards the fellow beings that are there. And literature as a subject also have a scope, especially in the technological era where the online content creation, etc., requires the study of literature aids the same. So as a career option, as also it will help students.
So with respect to teenagers today, especially those who are in the bracket of, let us say, age 14 to 20, right? Um, how is their attitude and behavior, and how is it changing? Because compared to, let's say, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, today everything is accessible to them in terms of information, knowledge about everything, right? They are aware of it. So in that age group, how are they getting impacted, and how is their behavior changing, and is it good or bad? What is your opinion?
Sir, I do agree that the behavior of teenagers right now may be different from what was 10 or 20 years back, because they have a early exposure due to technology, etc. They have an early exposure to things happening around the world, which may be affecting them. It will have positive as well as negative connotations. Like in case of positive, it will give them more world view, or more information is in their fingertips due to the social media, etc.
Hmm.
But the negative implication could be a generational gap that exists between what was the last generation parents as well as the current teenagers, may be leading to many conflicts, etc. Uh,
Mhm.
yes, sir,
Okay.
that's my.
Anything else? What about artificial intelligence and society? Um, how is it going to impact society in coming days, coming months, coming years?
Sir, the artificial intelligence will definitely have an impact on society. The positive impacts could be the technology should aid or make the life of people more easy. For example, if you want to summarize an article uh, or to find information in the uh, wide range of information out there, the generative AI like things may help. It will help in education also. And in case of health also, the early detection like things by AI tools will help. The negative issues could be effect on privacy, especially in an era of data. And second could be the misuse of AI as a technology, like the deep fakes that are coming, the revenge porn, etc. It will affect the vulnerable population very much, like the revenge porns that are there.
Okay. So why do you want to get into civil services?
Sir, coming from the family of teachers, my initial ambition was to become a teacher. But later I realized that there are some things that a civil servant can do better than teachers, especially during the COVID period when the education shifted to online. I have seen how my own parents, students are struggling to access the education. But at that time only, I have seen the civil servants like the Rani George IAS of Kerala, the KITE project for the accessibility during online education has helped to bridge that gap. And also the civil servants, collectors at that time were ensuring the digital device accessibility to students. So my primary focus was on education, but I realized that a civil servant have uh, more avenues like the policy formulation and policy implementation to bring a change in society. Along with that, the career safety or the diversity of jobs, social position, etc., offered by civil service attracted me.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So how did you do? How many marks you have given so far?
Sir, I have given around 9.
All online or offline?
No, sir, I haven't given any online. It's
Okay.
all offline.
Achha, achha. So how did you do today compared to other marks?
Sir, I think my answers were getting short. I was concerned about not talking longer. So I was
Mm.
trying to cut it short. I don't know, like, what was the duration of my answers? Was it
Mm-hmm.
short or long?
No, duration is fine. What about the quality?
Quality, sir, I believe literature I have to prepare more. For example, the writers, etc., I have prepared, but I couldn't recollect it properly because of the
Mm.
revision part.
Okay. Mm. So, in your DAF, the number one priority is literature, okay? Because you are a student of literature, optional is literature, and then hobby also you put writing and reading, literature. So that is the most important. So then comes, from the feminist perspective, women dimension, because you mentioned sex education awareness and other stuff. So it might take that turn. And after that, again, writing in university, there also literature. And NCC and Scouts, that is one different thing. I mean, it's about more of leadership quality, right? So still predominantly it's about literature. So because you are an English literature student, the expectation Indian literature and also Western literature with respect to classical or modern or contemporary, you need to have a really thorough understanding because the panel, most of them will have serious reading hobby. They would have read good books. They would like to discuss some of the, so they might just like I started, Leo Tolstoy and Dostoevsky or Pushkin or whatever. They might just start discussion without asking the question, have you read these books? So can you talk about War and Peace or can you talk about Crime and Punishment? Something like that. Even if you haven't read those books, I think you should know about something about the most important literary works, whether it is Russian or American or other European, Indian, so something like that. Similarly, contemporary authors, all genres, not only historical fiction, mythological, those who are writing about various issues. So Amito Ghosh, for example. So his works. So there is also historical fiction, right? So look at his works, understand how he's combining literature and history, and what issues he's trying to portray. Similarly, you go with every author, whether it is Arvind Adiga, I think he won Booker Prize, the White Tiger.
Yes.
Anita Desai is there one more. So that is one thing. Secondly, what I felt is, yeah, because it is predominant, expect there will be more expectations, right? And once you have read literature, that is why I asked, give a critique of Kundi, like as if you are a literary critic. How do you? Because in the answer you gave, it was one-sided. I asked uh, your inspiration or a more favorite personality. You gave a positive thing, but when we ask you to review, critically, so there should be some nuances, some observations in the character, in their behavior, or how it is portrayed within the epic, and what is their current relevance, something like that. Or you can choose feminist perspective or postmodernist or something like that. One tool you can choose, and you have to do the critique. So that was the expectation. So because expectation is high, I felt your answer should have been better. Right. So there was no new perspective except some Kerala specific questions that you handled well, where the Kerala issues were there. In general, literature related, I think you have to compulsorily go to the depth and be more uh, analytical, in your answers.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.